Hello, and welcome to Cocktails with a Twist of History, your digital destination for all things cocktails. Paul McCartney has an amazing song called Blackbird, which was inspired by the 1960s U.S. civil rights movement. It focuses primarily on women and their struggles. The song was released on the Beatles' White Album, and this was in November 1968. There is a Blackbird Cocktail, which is a tiki-style cocktail, and it has Campari, rum, coffee liqueur, and it has its similarities to another cocktail we've talked about, the Jungle Bird. Look back at that episode. I could use the views. The Blackbird Cocktail wasn't created until 2021, but it's really also based on, at least in name, on another cocktail called the Blackbird Giggles, another cocktail born from political stance. The Blackbird Giggles was against the idea that the government wants to control what we drink and eat. Okay, that's a lot of talk about blackbirds, and we are going to make a Blackbird cocktail. It is a shaken cocktail, so we are going to need our shaker, and it is a rum-based cocktail. It says specifically to use Jamaican rum, so I have a very nice Jamaican rum, and we are going to put in 2 ounces of our Jamaican rum into this cocktail. Here we go. Now we're going to use Campari. We've actually used Campari on a few things recently. It is interesting. It has these bitter notes to it. So it says 3/4 of an ounce. I'm actually going to use 3/4 of an ounce here. Although, like I've said before, I tend to use a little bit less when using Campari, whatever they say. Interesting, this needs coffee liqueur. So it calls for 3/4 of an ounce of coffee liqueur. And that is what we are going to put in. 3/4 of an ounce of coffee liqueur. It needs 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. So we have our pineapple juice. We are going to put that in right here. And we still have our shaker. Put the pineapple juice in. It says 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice. So I have some lime juice over here. It calls for simple syrup also with the pineapple juice, and I have sugar already in my lime, so I don't think I'm going to add any of that to it. We'll see what happens. We are going to add our ice, add a lot of ice to it. Let's put our cover on, and let's give it a shake. Here we go. We have our covers, and hold and shake. This could use a good shake. You need to really make sure that it incorporates everything together. Here you go. And we are going to have our cocktail glass here. It's a very interesting color. Go. On, as I always say, never leave the remainder in the shaker with the ice. It just waters it down. Now, since this is a tiki style drink, we are going to use a little bit of a tiki style garnish. Here we go. And let's try. Ooh, fascinating. That's a very unique cocktail. It has the rum, it has the Campari and the coffee. Wow, very different, very nice. Yeah, anybody that says that all the cocktails taste the same, this one for sure does not. That is good. The Blackbird Cocktail is a bittersweet tropical blend, and it also has that coffee, which really gives it that interesting taste. The cocktail that we were calling the Blackbird Giggles was a completely different cocktail, and it was made with blackcurrant jam, water, lime juice, carbonated orange juice, and gin. And it says that to garnish that one with a lime and an orange. So that's interesting. This one, though, the Blackbird Giggles, was in response to the Women's Christian Temperance Union, the WCTU. And that was talked about in an article from the Indianapolis Times on November 15, 1934. What the two cocktails and the song have in common is that they're all an inspiration for protesting and to help the struggles. and it shines a light on a cause. The song Blackbird, thankfully, is still something we hear. The two cocktails really have sort of faded over time. Anyway, if you know other parts of the history, we want to know it. You can put it in the comments, you can send it to us by email, or you can tell it to the bottle. We want to know. Also, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and to send a link of this show to somebody else so they can enjoy cocktails with a twist of history. Thank you.